Hi everybody, we're getting ready to do some testing of the new Fisher Impulse AQ detector right now. Stay tuned. Alright, for those of you who are not familiar with the Fisher Impulse AQ, it's a brand new machine. It's kind of in a limited production right now. They're testing it. They plan on coming out with another version later, but right now they just have about 20 some of these out, and they're not going to make more than 100 of them. So it's in a test phase, and I got one of them right here. We're going to test it, see how deep it goes. It's a pulse machine that should go deeper, and it's got a little bit of discrimination on it for pulse, which is kind of hard to do, and we'll see that on the beach when you look at some of mine. But anyway, let's get here and test a few things that I'm interested in, and maybe y'all will be interested in. All right, we're going to run through all these items right here that we're going to test, which is a gold chain, a small gold ring, a large gold ring, silver ring bullet, quarter dime, nickel penny, a frag, which is down there, and a cannonball, 24-pounder down there. We'll run through that right now, and what we're using for the setup for the Equinox right now is we got 0 on the noise cancel, we got 0 on the ground balance, 25 on sound. I like the high sound, no threshold. We got 2 on sound, so everything could be the same sound you're going to hear. -9 and a 4 on recovery speed. That is what the settings are, and that's what we'll be using. Alright, I'm going to set it up right now, and we'll get started. I'm going to run through this pretty quick with the numbers here, and they're going to get the Impulse AQ out and compare the numbers. Stay tuned. Alright, the first test is this very small gold chain, and I'll put a thing on the screen how much it weighs. Alright, let's check it out. I get absolutely no response on Equinox 800. If I let it down, hang down low, no response. The Equinox does not do good on gold chains. No response on Equinox 800. Okay. Next thing we got is a very small gold ring right here, and we're going to test it right now. Nice and loud. 9 inches, nice and loud. About a foot. It will actually pick up the small gold ring at a foot. That's not bad. Alright. This is a real large gold ring right here, and I'll put the weight of this one. I forget what it was. It's pretty heavy. That's a foot. 14 inches. 16 inches. About 16 inches is a max on this large gold ring here. 16 inches, not bad. I'm exactly that. 12 and 16, 0. Okay, silver ring. This is not a real big silver, about a medium silver ring right here. That's a foot. 13 inches, I can hear it. Alright, this is a Civil War bullet. Dig a lot of these. I'm real interested in seeing if I can go in. I know the machine, the Impulse AQ, is made for the water. But I will definitely test it on land too, in the areas I know there's a bunch of bullets that I couldn't get to. So let's see how deep the Equinox is going first. I can still get a hit about 13 inches. 13 is about the max on that bullet right there. Alright, dig a lot of quarters at the beach. The Impulse AQ says, who cares about quarters? But you know, I dig probably over $400 worth of change on the beach, which is equal to about 8 gold rings probably, so small ones. But anyway, I don't mind digging change sometimes. That's 12 inches. I'm going to go about 14 inches on a quarter flat. Now that quarter was sideways, not so much. Sideways you might only get 7 inches out of it, but if it's flat and got that full circumference facing the coil, right close to 14 inches. Yeah, This is a dime. These are clad. These are all clad we'll deal with too. Though. No silver in here. About 12 inches on a dime. This is a standard nickel. Gold gives you, a lot of times, gives you the same numbers in nickel. I'm getting a nickel down to about 14 inches. Not bad. All right, the standard clad penny. About a foot. 12 inches. All right, the next thing I'm going to test here is a piece of shell. You see the hole where the fuse went into right here. It's a pretty good size cannonball shell fragment. They call these frags. This is a really big shell, but I dig a lot of these at certain places. And I want to see how the Impulse AQ would do in the water for shell frags. That's a pretty good thing that I'm interested in right there. So let's test out this. 16 inches. 19 inches. 22 inches. 22 inches, I'm still getting a hit on it, so about 22 inches. Alright, the last thing we're testing here is a 24-pound Revolutionary War cannonball that I found. And there are cannonballs in this spot that I want to go to, so I'm really interested to see if the Impulse AQ will find a cannonball in the water. Let's check it out. Alright, Equinox is picking up about 25 inches. Alright, that's going to conclude the, just getting some documentation on Equinox before we try the Impulse AQ. So let's get the Impulse AQ in here and see how it does. Stay tuned. Oh, one more thing. You know, this does not have a speaker, external speaker. So what I've got here is I got my wife's phone calling my phone with it communicating here over to my phone right here. And if y'all listen, when I put my camera in front of it, you can hear it give the signal through my phone, and its volume's all the way up. So that's what we're using for our speaker right there. Okay, let's get started right now. Here we go. Get it set up here. Okay, let's get started right now. We got, the first thing is a small gold chain. Alright, let's give it a shot right now. Here it is right here. Not hearing a whole lot right now. I'm not hearing a thing. Equinox would not pick this up either. I'm getting nothing on the gold chain. As you see, it's a really, really small gold chain. And I'll put the weight up in the corner there, but it's not really giving me any signal. Okay, nothing on that. Alright, we got the small gold ring right here. Nine, 10, 11. Definitely getting it a foot. I'm getting about 14 inches on a small gold ring. Let's go 14 on that. Now we got the large gold ring. Boy, it picked that right up as I went by it there. Big gold ring. That's a foot. 13, 14, 15. I can still hear it at 16 inches. I'm going to go 16 inches on the large gold ring. Alright, we got a silver ring here. Y'all saw that in the previous test. $10. That's 12 inches on the silver ring. Alright, this bullet I'm really interested in because I do have some spots that barely get a hit and dig a bullet. It'd be nice to have that when I dig deeper. $13. I got a little bit of interference with this machine right now. Just like about 13 inches will be the max I can get that right there. Alright, here's your regular clad quarter right here. Let's just hear it. I love hearing that noise. About 12 inches. Alright, this is your clad dime. About 11 inches. Clad nickel. Down to 15 inches on the clad nickel. I'm still hearing it 16 inches. I'm still getting a slight. I'm going 16 inches on that. Now, penny. Here's your clad penny. About 12 inches. Alright. Next thing we're going to test is the clad. I'm sorry, is the Cannonball frag. Y'all saw that. It's a pretty good sized piece of frag. Let's see how it does on that one. "24 inches and no problem." I'm going to give that 28 inches down on this piece of frag right here. 28. Wow. Alright. And now we got our Cannonball here. It's a 24 pounder. Let's see what it does. That's at 27 inches. 30, I'm still getting a sound. I'm saying 31 inches. "31 inches. that's going to conclude the test. Let me cut this off here real quick here. That's feeding from another phone. Let's go ahead and get inside, look at our data, and do an analysis. Y'all ready? Let's do it. All right, let's do a little quick analysis of what we just did. Before we get started, I wanted to say that I used the headphones. It didn't have a speaker on the Impulse, so I used my two phones with a speaker out loud. And we may have lost just a little bit on that. I'm not sure. I did do it with my headphones and then the speaker, and it did work on the nickel. It's pretty much the same, you know. So I don't think we lost a lot, but it may be a little bit in translation there. So anyway, let's get started on what we did. All right, first I start off with a small gold chain. It weighed 0.95 grams, which is nothing, hard, less than a gram. Equinox has always had trouble with small gold. A lot of detectives have trouble seeing the small gold. And as you see, the Equinox 800, I didn't get any reading. And the Impulse, I did not get any reading. One time I thought I heard a little bit on the Impulse. I may, with Impulse, with the headphones one potentially, because it's got the threshold tone, and I didn't have a tone on the Equinox. I went with standard, had to set them up. But anyway, maybe not, but neither one really gave me a conclusive response on a 0.95 gold chain. Now, the small gold ring didn't weigh but 1.43 grams, but so it's not a whole lot difference in weight, but it's the shape and how it's configured. It's all one solid gold piece, and it's in a circle. Anything in a circle always gives you a good response, especially on VLF. You know, it induces an electrical field, and it produces a round electrical field coming back, and you can read it really easy. But anyway, and the small gold ring got 12 inches on Equinox and 14 on the Impulse AQ. So I think the AQ I think is going to go better on small gold than the Equinox will. The Fisher engineers have designed that machine to do nothing but look at gold. They know the ranges of gold numbers, so they've exemplified that to make sure it got the gold. Large gold ring, they were both pretty close on that, but anytime you get a large piece, it was 11.67 grams. Anything big like that, any detector will hit. It's just how deep it's going to go. And again, we're talking, this is air, so the Impulse definitely has a better penetration. In all these, everything we're going to talk about here, the penetration on the Impulse is going to be better. So in the beach, it's probably going to penetrate better, and mineralized soil, so much will penetrate better. Now, if you were just in fresh water with no mineralizations, both can probably be close to the same. But silver ring, 13 inches versus 12, pretty close. The 3-ring bullet, 13 and 13, they were right on. I really thought that Impulse would go deeper because it's kind of around in the gold range. Both of them are very heavy, dense metals. But anyway, about the same. The quarter, a little bit less on the Impulse. I'm not sure why there. The dime was close to the same. The nickel, the Impulse definitely got deeper on the nickel. And there again, the engineers over there at Fisher are designing this thing to look for gold. And I tell you what, every time I get a nickel on the beach, I think I got gold. So they gave you somewhat of the same response, and that's why I'm thinking to design it to look at that. Penny about the same. You know, as y'all know, I got that Cannonball alley. I'm digging a lot of shell frags, a lot of Cannonballs. And me and Buddy keep going back, and we'll barely, I mean, it's not even a signal. It's like just changes the threshold a little bit on the scallop, and we'll be digging a shell, you know, a foot down, 2 foot down. This one actually did, on the large shell frag, the Equinox is 22 inches, and we dug them like that. This one went 26 inches. 6 inches deeper is a lot. Because, you know, if we can bear ahead, how many are in that 6-inch range underneath there? So that is going to be a very interesting test for me when I can go back there. Kind of the end of the year now, so I'm not sure I'll be going back there. Maybe along the shoreline with my waders, I'm going to test it out. The Cannonball, same thing, 25 inches. On the Equinox, it'll get a Cannonball over 2 feet down. But that one actually went 31 inches, 6 more inches down deeper, which I'm really excited about that. I really like that. And the Impulse is going to get that even no matter where you're at, probably, because it's going to penetrate any kind of mineralized soil a lot better. So I'm thinking we might be able to dig some more shell frags and Cannonballs in our area there that we've been hunting. So I'm really excited about that. But the jury's still out on my thoughts on it. A beach with a lot of trash and a lot of metal in it may not be the best for this machine, I think, right now, because I was digging, even at the beach I hunt, I was digging a lot of little tiny pieces of metal. I mean, little pieces of metal. So in all metal modes, what you need to use in order to get the depth. So not sure how that's gonna work, but like I said, the penetration is a lot better. But I commend the Fisher engineers for this development. It's just a water machine looking for gold, and it does work. There's a lot of people posting, finding a lot of gold with this machine. It does have it's like a gold magnet. If you're in if you got gold there, and maybe if you don't have a lot of other stuff around you, I think it's a great machine in that particular scenario. But all scenarios are different. One machine does not. You can't use just one metal detector. You got to use different ones for different scenarios, and this one has a specific scenario to use, and there are people that are in that scenario, and they are finding gold. They are. Joe Beachnut up in New Jersey, he has found a lot of gold with it. There's a guy here at Virginia Beach that found it. I see other people posting on the Impulse forums where they're finding gold with it. So you just got to be in the gold area in a situation where you're not having a lot of trash. I think you're going to dig a lot of gold with it. So in each person's different what they're looking for. In my case, I'm actually using the same detector for land and sea and everywhere. I'm using Ecorex 800. It's really close here, and that's why I compare those two, because I use those two mainly. Or I use this one mainly, and I'm seeing if I can use this in scenarios. And I can right now. I see a couple scenarios. It will be good for me. But anyway, that's what I got so far. We still got a lot of testing to do. This was just a quick random test on just certain things. So maybe we have to do some more testing. Even out in the water, maybe in some other areas other than the beach in the water side, I'd like to give it a good test run. Anyway, I appreciate everybody coming along. Don't forget to click like, comment below, share, and subscribe to the Gigmaster. Remember, hit the button. I appreciate everybody coming along.